All right, guys, welcome back to episode number 2 of What's the Dill? We have a massive, awesome, cool show planned for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Apple's non-woke Christmas ad. We're going to be talking about a little bit about Joe Biden. We're going to be talking a little bit about The View. Obviously, I feel like we can't go one show without The View saying something worth reacting to. We're also going to be talking about a really cool guest that I just had on the podcast that I want to play a segment for, a viral video he did rapping at McDonald's back like in 2015 that garnered over 100 million views and what that kind of bulleted him into. We're going to talk about that and more in this episode of What's the Dill? All right, Apple. Yes, Apple. Out of every possible company to create a non-woke Christmas ad, it was a surprise. I'm not gonna lie, it was a surprise. Let's play the ad. I have not watched this in full, but I have been told that maybe this whole push for wokeness is dying because out of all companies, Apple is not one that I thought would be one to embrace family values, let's say. I watched maybe the first 10 seconds of this, and then I stopped because I wanted to, this is going to be my live first reaction watching this clip. So this is a clip of Apple's non-woke Christmas ad. Let's watch it together.
Got it last week.
I think I know what it is. Are you serious? Oh, guys, thank you. No, this is
Oh, man.
Listen.
Light the fire. You place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.
I'm so excited. Here you go, Haley.
Happy birthday. Look at the picture of me and you, Daddy. Look at the moon. Daddy, take a I am a robot. What is that?
See ya.
Everything is easy 'cause of
I love you. Papa.
you.
Oh, man. Ooh, man. Wow. Having a daughter that is currently 1.5, I think that hits different for dads. Apple, well done. For those that were listening to it, it was a opportunity to show their new kind of like hearing, their headphones that have hearing aids in it. And it was a dad that was watching his daughter play a guitar that he just got her for Christmas, and then remembering all of the memories of his daughter growing up. And a lot of those memories he couldn't hear as well as he would like. And then at the end, when he was reminiscing of his daughter being all the way from being born all the way to growing up into the young lady that she was, his wife tapped him on the shoulder and says, "Hey, put these in." And he was able to hear his beautiful daughter sing a beautiful song. Man, well done, Apple. And that is... Can we get back to this kind of marketing, by the way? And so I'm just going to change the style so I don't start crying in the microphone. That was good. That was good. Can we just get back to this kind of marketing where there's stories and emotion, and you could tell the writing was strong, and that was a well written, well acted, good ad. Well done, Apple. Good job. Okay. A little bit of a change of pace for our next topic. For those that don't know, Joe Biden recently announced that he will be pardoning his son, Hunter Biden, for everything that he may have done or will do or will ever do. Okay, that might be a slight exaggeration, but the verbiage of the pardoning was very vague. It's also interesting. I want to make a couple points about this pardoning before we jump into a couple reactions of it. This whole time, Joe Biden has said that he will not be pardoning his son. He said that no one is above the law. If you remember for a while, there was another, who was the other? Oh yeah, Donald Trump. Remember that? When the Democrats tried to imprison him, and the whole time they're screaming, no one is above the law. We're going to react to a couple of them saying that in a second. And then also, Joe Biden said that Hunter has not done anything wrong. Well, question, if Hunter Biden has not done anything wrong, why would you need to pardon him? Just hypothetically speaking. Now, some would say, well, obviously he needs to pardon him because he knows that those evil Republicans are going to come after him unfairly. So he's just doing it as a preventative measure. It's not admitting guilt that he knows maybe Hunter Biden has been guilty. But if the justice system is still as good as the Democrats would like us to believe when they were trying to get Donald Trump in prison, if you remember, they said that the justice system should not be toyed with, and it was still full of integrity and honor. Well, if that's the case, then you should have no fear of having Hunter Biden go through trial, right? I mean, you would think that they would not be concerned about that if Hunter Biden is actually not guilty. But if he is actually guilty, it makes a little bit more sense for daddy to be a little concerned for his son. I also want to make this as a quick thought as it was. As a father, I completely understand Joe Biden doing what he did to protect his son. As a father to a beautiful daughter, I could see myself being really, really conflicted knowing what to do if my daughter was ever in a position that I could potentially help her out even if she was in the wrong. Now, you would like to think that parents would stand up for what's right and maybe teach their kids a lesson, but I could also understand, like, legitimately, it would be a struggle. But that's not the issue in this situation. The issue is that not only Biden, the media, and also his press secretary, KJP, I'm not going to pronounce her full name because it's always Pierre. I'm not going to do that. Has consistently said that he won't do this. And that's the issue. So the first clip we're going to react to is, it's a couple people saying that no one is above the law, and it's not on the right. Let's watch the clip.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one 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 is above the law.
That's awesome. Oh, that. So can we just make a shirt? So because no one is above the law, except for Hunter Biden. That is different because we're doing it for real reasons. Oh man, that is awesome. Next, apparently some people are above the law. But just not Donald Trump. Okay, next clip we're going to react to is a press secretary for Biden, KJP, consistently saying over the past 4 years that President Biden will under no circumstances pardon his son. Let's watch.
Second one, would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
Okay, we go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Again, you've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6
Guys, she has to be one of the most, she's like up there with Kamala Harris with me, the most condescending, annoying people to listen to on this planet. But she just lies consistently. The past 4 years has been us watching this woman lie to our faces. Not only did she lie about this, but also about Biden is the smartest that he's ever been. I mean, literally on the job application for when she applied, there has got to be something that said, are you a psychopathic liar? And if so, you will be hired. And girl, you found the job for you. Because, oh man, not only did she say that he won't, she said he will never. And you have got to just imagine the look on her face when good old Grandpa Joe pardoned him anyway. And I guess she can't be completely to blame because maybe she was being told by Biden that he was not going to do that. So maybe she just didn't know. But to make such strong statements and kind of get annoyed with reporters is kind of wild when that's a very fair question to be asked. Now, this is kind of what you'd expect from the left as far as, you know, what they've said versus what they've done. But CNN consistently kind of outdoes themselves when it comes to saying kind of like wild things when it comes to about Donald Trump. There was a CNN panelist that they justified Hunter's pardon by Biden because they believe that Trump, when in his office, will he just be ordering a firing squad. Let's watch the clip.
Honestly, what the other side has been saying for years, what you guys ran on for president was multiple lies. I mean, if Eric Holder said it right, I think he said if Hunter's name was Joe Smith, this case would probably have never even gone to trial, right? That it was always a political witch hunt, and it was always.
But Lee, wasn't to Scott's point? I mean, wasn't it a lie? I mean, you can defend it, but wasn't it a lie that he was not going to pardon him?
No, I believe the circumstances have changed.
What circumstances change that allow you to lie and now it not be a lie? The facts are facts, regardless of circumstances. Like just average brain power from CNN speaking real loud right now. But let's keep watching. Let's just before we cast judgment, let's just keep watching.
We'll have a president coming into office who's talking about firing squads, who's talking about running people around the country and making sure that everyone who's his enemy is going to be punished. And Hunter Biden lied about his drug use on a government forum when he was buying a gun. And he failed to file and pay taxes when he was a drug addict. He paid back those taxes with interest. Donald Trump himself was indicted for 17 counts of criminal tax fraud, more than Hunter, and he's going to be the president of the United
11
States.
years.
So
You're missing a few things here. 11 years.
All right. Well, that's it for the clip that I had curated. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. That's CNN. So if you watch it, I don't know why you would, but that's CNN for you. Apparently, Trump is going to come at his enemies with firing squads. So bringing back the old turnaround and bang, bang, apparently. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, you know what? Let's move on to something a little bit more lighthearted, shall we? I guess my final takeaways before we move on is this. I've said repeatedly that it's not the pardoning that I have an issue with, per se. I can understand from a dad's point of view why you would want to pardon your son. The issue I just have is with just the consistent lying. It's consistent. You can almost guarantee when the press secretary and when CNN speaks, it's a lie at this point. They lied about Biden's cognitive abilities for 4 years. They lied that he was not going to pardon his son. So what's to say that every other piece of propaganda media isn't a lie because their track record currently is not helping them out? We'll see where this goes. But that's kind of my thoughts on the Hunter Biden thing. Let me know below. What are your thoughts on Biden pardoning his son? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about The View, huh? I love The View. The View to me is a couple ladies that have strong opinions. Some would say they're good opinions. Some would say they're bad opinions. But they are entertaining. You got to admit, they're an entertaining crew. They also give me a lot of good content to react to. The View's been saying some wild accusations recently, and there's been this recent issue to where they kind of present things as fact when they're false, and it's not happened one time. It's happened multiple times, and it's gotten so bad to where they've had to start reading pretty consistent apologies that their law team is making them read live on air to people. Let's react to one. Let's see what this is about.
To clarify that Santos eventually reached a plea deal after pleading guilty to wire fraud and aggravated identity. Is that a legal note?
What a nice legal
Kind of. All right. Kind of.
It's
Whatever.
It's a clarification. Bribery accusations. I have a legal note. You want to take this one, Joy, or you? Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations
she's
and has not been
steaming.
charged with any crime.
She's
Let's
steaming.
try.
Look at her face. Wait, let's go back. Look. She's so mad. You know, in the production meeting, she was fighting them the whole time. And they're like, no, Sonny, you have to read this. And she's like, look at her face. Oh, this is rich. Let's go.
You want to take this one, Joy, or you? Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
Let's try.
Also, another legal note. Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit.
Guys, back to back. They had to read them back to back on the same show.
Has denied any wrongdoing.
That's interesting. Pay off the witness.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi
Same episode. Was you wearing the same shirt?
have denied.
This is all the same episode.
Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo that his past donation played any role in her office's decision to not take legal action against Trump University when she was, of course, the Attorney General of Florida.
Oh, this show is going to be just legal notes and things we're selling. That's what I said we're going to call it, the legal note.
Yeah. And you know why it's going to be called that? Because all you guys do is lie. Guys, that is awesome. That made my day. Sunny, you could just tell she was absolutely fuming reading those. And that feels good. That's awesome. You know, I don't know. This is just, I don't know if you ever watches this show or anything, but maybe one thing that might help you guys is stop lying. Might be a good start. And you won't have to read as many legal notes if you stop lying. But hey, honestly, for me, as a content creator, I love The View because The View is just an absolute treasure trove of hilarious snippets from wild things that they say. So please, by all means, ladies, keep it up because it keeps people like me being able to make some content. So appreciate you. And a little bit of a switch of a topic here. For those that don't know, RFK Jr. is now a part of Donald Trump's team to maybe make America healthy again. But for those that haven't heard him talk, his voice has a tremor in it. Very high. Some have said it's tough to listen to. And for a long time, I had no idea why he had said tremor. And recently, though, in an interview, he clarified why his voice sounds the way it does. Let's take a look.
In 1996, when I was 42 years old, I got struck with a disease, a neurological disease, an injury called spasmodic dystonia, and it makes my voice tremble. And I actually, at the time, I didn't know what was wrong with it, but when I would go on TV, people would write me letters and say, you have spasmodic dystonia, and you should see Dr. Blitzer, who is the physician who was most famous for treating it. And I ultimately went to see him, and he confirmed that I had the diagnosis. So it makes it, I think it makes it problematical for people to listen to me. I cannot listen to myself on TV. I will never listen to this broadcast, and I won't listen to any. So I feel sorry for you guys having to listen to me.
All right, there you go. RFK Jr. clarifying why his voice is a neurological disease. That I did a little research. I just don't think, I think it's gotten a little better. Even just recently, his voice was way more hoarse, but I think it's just going to be something that he currently lives with, which is definitely a tough thing to go through. But that is, if you hear him talk and you want to know what's going on with his voice, there you go. That is what's going on with RFK Jr. and his voice. But that does not mean that he doesn't have some good ideas. Some would say crazy ideas to get America a healthy place. But listen, we can only go up from here. You want to know what I think about RFK Jr.? This is it. I don't completely trust him. But if you look at, I have a clip that I'll play another show, but if you look at the previous person who was in charge of our food here in America, you will understand that this is an upgrade. Do I think that some of his ideas are off the wall and he's had a couple crazy things and decisions he's made in his history? Yes. But do I also think that he will potentially try to fight Big Pharma like no other person has? I do. So a little undecided. I like a lot of the things he does. I'm a little nervous about some other things. I guess right now for RFK Jr. and my opinion of it, we will wait and see before I give you more. All right, and our final clip is just something that I thought was kind of funny. People are getting creative in the way they're trolling people or making people laugh, depending on how you view this next clip. People like this gentleman right here, he put a QR code on his back with no description. Let's see what happens when you scan it. Oh. Can we cue up that like screaming liberal video right now? That would be awesome. How many people scanned his shirt just to rage in their phone? That's awesome. That's the next level trolling or next level way to make friends. If I meet that person, man, I want to shake your hand because that is a great, awesome idea. All right, we're going to move on to our next segment of the show. In this segment of the show, we talk about a recent guest that we had on the podcast, and I'm going to play you a little segment from this podcast. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about this guest. The guest that I had in the podcast was named Hi-Rez, the rapper. Now, you might not be into rap music. That's fine. I think you're going to actually find the story really fascinating. My first exposure to Hi-Rez was probably back when I was in college. Yeah, probably back when I was in college. He was a legit Uber driver. He would rap in front of people, and those videos went absolutely viral. Before that, you guys maybe have watched this before. He did a rap in a McDonald's. It originally started with him rapping at a McDonald's drive-thru, and then it turned into actually McDonald's shooting a commercial with him. And we're gonna watch that right now. We're gonna react to Hi-Rez, the rapper, rapping his order at a McDonald's. And this is the video that really kind of projected him into the next level of eyes. Not only would it go mega viral, but this is back when you would post a video and like there was like one viral video a week and everyone saw this video, you know. Shaquille, and he'll talk about it in a second. So we're gonna watch the video and then we're gonna hear him talk about this whole situation, how he reached his peak with this McDonald's endorsement. And then 2020 happened, and you'll see what happens in this clip. Let's watch the clip of Hi-Rez rapping his order. Let's watch this viral. This is one of the most viral videos of all time. Enjoy the clip.
You got it? You got it. Can I get 2 Big Macs? Okay. 2 apple pies? No, actually. Let me get 2 Big Macs and 2 apple pies, a little bit of Sprite in the side of fries. Let me get a McDouble, let me get a McChicken, hot sauce, make sure that shit kicking. I want a McRib before I McPiss. Let me get a hash brown if it is a lunch head. If it is, I'm gonna be mixed and upset. Let me get some nuggets too. I want a bun cake and a parfait. 2 of them, I really had a hard day. Let me get a McCafe latte and a couple 100 Lost Shamrock shakes. Powerade, high C, ranch snack wrap on the side, please. Let me get a burger with a slice of cheese, but no onions or pickles, so hold that, please. I want a McFlurry, 2 of those, 1 M&M, 1 Oreos. I want everything on the dollar menu and a burger with jalapenos. Let me get a snack wrap for my bad, better not tax that dust sauce, no after. Taking everything to go, so pack that in a black bag, Hi-Rez, eating all the flapjack. Did you get all that?
All right, this video went absolutely viral for him. The video he did before this went absolutely, everyone saw it. I mean, absolutely saw it. In fact, after the original video, McDonald's tried to steal the idea. His fans revolted, and then next thing you know, it's posted everywhere. So this is Hi-Rez. I asked him kind of how long it took him to kind of make it. And then this is really the first video that kind of took him to a new level. And this is what he said. This is kind of the sequence of events. Let's watch a clip from our podcast. This podcast is available everywhere. And I'll put the link somewhere so you can see this full conversation with Hi-Rez. Same guy. A little bit longer beard.
But I worked for 10 years before I turned anything into a profit. 10 years, which I would say only maybe 2015 or 2016 did I start really turning a small profit. I did a commercial with McDonald's where I went super viral. Well, I started with a viral video. I went into the Times Square at McDonald's and I basically rapped, let me get 2 Big Macs, 2 apple pies. It got hundreds of millions of views. It's still to this day one of the biggest Facebook videos of all time. One of the biggest. It ended up getting 100-something million on YouTube.
That was when you were in the McDonald's, right?
That was was in the in the Times Square
that
McDonald's. Yeah. That was one of the most viral videos of all time. This is back in the day when there was only a viral video per week. It wasn't like TikTok. It wasn't like every second and then like you're like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? So like Shaquille O'Neal shared it and Bam Margera shared it.
When you had a viral video, everyone saw it.
Everyone in the world saw it. Yep. I remember I was sitting on a plane and a person next to me was watching it, and like I just saw it everywhere. And people like they didn't believe, oh, that's you. Nah, it's not you. I don't believe you, because it was like I said, a viral video. I was on Fox News. I was on ABC. Lil Wayne shared it. Bam Margera shared it. Shaquille O'Neal shared it. Kevin Hart shared it. It was literally the biggest thing of that whole month. And then McDonald's ended up. They actually tried to steal the concept. They ended up like trying to take the whole idea, and then all my fans roasted them. They pulled the commercial down. They pulled the video down, and then they messaged me and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna fly you out and try this again." And we ended up doing a commercial, and that was I didn't know anything about health or what. Like I was genuinely eating McDonald's, so like I'm a young kid. I'm 110 pounds. Like I'm totally not healthy at all. Like in I'm not fat, but I'm totally not healthy. I'm eating terribly. So I work with McDonald's. Later on, Mitsubishi ended up reaching out. I didn't end up striking a deal with them, but all these corporations started reaching out to me, and 2020 comes around. I'm trying to sum up all this in a few minutes. And 2020 comes around and the mandates happen. I was never political.
Pause real quick. Listen to what happened. So this is all happening. He kind of skips over the part where he also was doing his Uber raps, and he kept building a massive empire, million views on socials, kind of the peak of where he was going. 2020 rolls around and he kind of started seeing something weird. Let's see what happens next.
I did vote Trump because, just people around me, my wife's conservative. I didn't hate Trump, and I liked him more than I liked Biden. And I was like, okay, so let me vote Trump, whatever. But before that, I voted Obama. And after that, I voted, independently, or maybe I didn't even vote in 2016. So 2020 happens, these mandates happen. And I'm sitting here like, speaking out against these mandates, and people are like, what's wrong with you? Like, I just got so much backlash. I got so much hate in the comments. I got so much, but that never really turned me away from things. So I just kept, speaking my mind and saying, this is so weird. I'm like, are you guys nuts? And I just kept feeling like I was living in the Twilight Zone and like living in the Matrix. And I feel like a Neo. I felt like I was the only one like outside of the Matrix, and everyone else was just asleep. Like for a year straight, I felt like that. I felt alone, except, thank God for my wife, my girlfriend at the time. And I felt like just alone, man. My whole family was, getting 17 vaccines. They're wearing 40 masks. They're like, they're literally saying, Jesse, you can't come home unless you get vaccinated. You can't see grandma before she dies. Like all this, I was literally, I was ostracized from within my own family to some degree. I was ostracized online. I was ostracized within, like I said, the industry. But then the tide started turning when I started getting messages from industry artists, like well-known people. And they were like, dude, I agree with you. I just can't speak out about this. Yo, I'm rocking with you. I just can't personally say it.
All right, that was Hi-Rez talking about his journey from kind of reaching the pinnacle of getting on a McDonald's commercial all the way to then all it took was for this dude to speak what he thought is accurate. Whether you agree or disagree with his take, all he did was says, you know what? It's kind of weird to force an experimental vaccine on Americans. It's kind of a weird thing to do. Not sure about this. And as a result, he lost deals. He lost sponsors. A lot of his fans went away. And he legit, like he just said, he had actual famous artists reach out to him and be like, man, I agree with you. I just can't say anything. Because that's dangerous. That's called free speech suppression, if you want a name for that. And not only when he spoke what he thought to be true, and turned out actually Rez is right about a lot of that stuff 4 years after the fact, that and as a result of him speaking out, I guess I'll say this, as a result of it's been really good for him. He's been growing. If you'd like to check out his music, you could do so in the description. He's been releasing a lot of really cool things. And since this, he's become a dad. He's gotten married. And a lot of his music is really positive, encouraging music that I think a lot of you will enjoy. Also, he did a really cool music video, which we will probably react to on the show sometime with hopefully someone I get on the podcast soon, named JP Sears, who's a satirical conservative video guy that's been doing it for a very long time that is absolutely hilarious. I'll put that link to that music video in the description as well. If you enjoyed that clip of my conversation with Hi-Rez, that podcast is available everywhere, streaming on all platforms. And if you want to kind of get an inside look to the music industry, how quickly it can come, how quickly it can go, and maybe the importance and how speaking out on your political beliefs, while it might have immediate repercussions, it could actually be a very good thing to be more vocal in America. Hi-Rez is a really cool story, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy that podcast episode. It is out everywhere. Please go check it out. All right. Before we wrap up and give my final thoughts for the show, thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging with me. I would be remiss, I don't have the bag with me, but I would be remiss to not shout out our sponsor of What's the Dill, Cool Beans Coffee Brewery. Cool Beans Coffee Brewery, we met over a year ago, and back then I was really struggling with acid reflux. It was literally like flooring me. I had to completely give up all citrus, all pastas, coffees. Life was miserable. It was terrible. Until one day my wife went to Trader Joe's and she found that there was a low acid coffee blend, and I drank it. It didn't kill me. And I could drink the Trader Joe's low acid coffee without any problems. I'm like, this is awesome. I could drink coffee again. And then I met Taylor. Taylor's the owner of Cool Beans Coffee Brewery. And I wanted to get her on the podcast because back then, mainly my podcast was interviewing entrepreneurs in Michigan. And I just said, hey, Taylor, is there any chance we could maybe develop a low-acid coffee blend together that I could promote on my podcast? And it would be a co-blend that we create and help other people like me that can't drink coffee but wish they could. And she said yes. And so since then, we've been partnering together. We created probably one of the best coffees in the world. And anyone that drinks it pretty much always orders it again. And it is called the Broadcast Brew. You can get yours in the description below. If you order a bag of the Broadcast Brew, not only do you support me here at the show, you also support a local business in Michigan in Cool Beans Coffee Brewery. So please pick up your bag. Also, a couple of announcements. We have merch coming soon. We also have coffee mugs coming soon to support the show. I've been working with a really cool brand designer to get this all done. And so when that happens, I will let you know. You won't want to miss it because some of the merch will be a limited time merch. And so probably next show, I will be revealing some of the merch to you. But until then, thank you for swinging by. Final thoughts on today's episode is this in a nutshell. Shout out Apple. Good job. Non-woke Christmas ad. Massive fan. We need more marketing like that. What's the deal with Joe Biden? Well, let me tell you what the deal with Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a psychopathic liar, and he always has been, always will be. You can't keep someone from lying that always lies. But to his credit, he is old, probably has dementia, and he's just trying to save his son. I want to know your thoughts with the Biden controversy. I want to know your thoughts with the Apple. I want to know your thoughts about The View. Should The View continue to have airtime? And last but not least, what do you think about the Hi-Rez interview? All really cool things, but let me know in the comments below about all these things. Did you enjoy today's episode? What do you want to see me react to as well? And finally, got to shout out my Discord community. If you want a direct line to me and clips that I react to, join us on Discord. There is a segment there where you can submit things for me to react to. If you want to see me react to anything, join the Discord. That link is also in the description below. All right, this was a great episode. Thank you so much for all the support you gave us on the first episode. The first episode on YouTube is doing way, way better and bigger than I ever thought possible. So thank you guys for supporting me in that. And if you want to see more of these, I'm going to be making these weekly. So thank you for chilling with me today. We'll see you guys on the next episode of What's the Dill? And I hope you all have a blessed week. Thank you.